Hi everyone, Cornell here. Welcome to my Blooming Bakes channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a carrot cake. It is our family recipe that we have used for years and years, and honestly when I've made this for customers they've said it's the best carrot cake they've ever had. The plus side as well is it's 2 of your 5 a day, because this recipe not only gets carrot in the recipe but also bananas. So let's get started. It is really easy to do. We're going to start with mixing our eggs and sugar. So for that we have 230 grams of sugar, granulated sugar. Don't have to use caster sugar or anything finer than this. Granulated sugar is absolutely fine. 230 grams. We're going to add 3 eggs. One. 2. I use large eggs, if you wonder about the size of the eggs, which can make a difference on a recipe. I use large eggs for all my bakes. Right, and we're just going to give this a whisk. So I'm using an electric stand mixer, and with your whisk attachment we're just going to mix the eggs and the sugar. Perfect. So to this we're going to add 250 milliliters of oil. So I'm using sunflower oil, 250 mils of oil. So this recipe doesn't use butter, it uses oil instead, but it results in a really moist recipe, so definitely use oil instead of butter and you'll see what I mean. Let's get all of that out. And I'm just going to give this another whisk for just 5 to 10 seconds just to mix it before we add the dry ingredients. Perfect. So, just waiting for that to drip off. Just going to pop the bowl there. Right, so to this we're going to add our dry ingredients. We've got flour, some spices, some rising agents, and then we'll give that another mix. So grab your sieve. I like to just sieve my flour because it is a big cake we're making and I like the texture to be just right. So I'm using 245 grams of plain flour, and we're going to add, before we sieve that, let's just add our baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's 1, 2. 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Okay, and to that we're just going to add a pinch of salt and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to mix that until it comes together, and then we'll add the key ingredients to our mix. Right, I've literally mixed that probably for about 20 seconds because we've added it to basically liquid. There's no solid butter or anything like that that we have to combine with our mixture, so it combines very easily and very quickly. That was literally about 20 seconds on medium. Now I'm just scraping down the sides. Always remember to do this with any cake mixture, because sometimes your mixer doesn't add or mix right at the bottom or on the sides of your mixing bowl. Perfect. So now we're going to add the carrots, banana, and also some nuts. Perfect. So I've got 90 grams of coarsely grated carrots. Obviously you peel your carrot before you grate it, and 90 grams of that. Put it straight into your mixing bowl. I've got 260 grams of banana pulp. It's equal to about 2 to 3 bananas, and you just make it to a pulp with a fork on a plate. So 260 grams of banana pulp. And 60 grams of chopped hazelnuts. You can buy it just like that in a shop, or you can chop it up yourself if you want. And of course, if you've got a nut allergy, you can leave this out of the recipe. The recipe is still delicious without the nuts, but of course it is quite a traditional ingredient for a carrot cake recipe. So I'm going to add this today, 60 grams of chopped hazelnuts. And we're going to give this a mix just on slow speed. Again, just for about 10-20 seconds until it just combines and come together. And it is as easy as that. So just make sure you scrape down all of your mixture from your whisk attachment. Sometimes the carrot pieces cling to that little bit, so just get all your carrot pieces off. Into a lightly greased and lined cake tins. I'm using 8-inch round cake tins today. And I've got some baking paper just in the bottom of my cake tin like that. If you like to put non-stick baking paper on the sides as well, that's completely up to you. I've just got a lightly greased cake pan with lined just the bottom with some baking paper. 2 of these 8-inch wide, and I'm going to just divide the cake mixture equally into these cake tins. If you really want to be fancy, you can weigh your dough and make sure you add exactly half to each of your cake tins, but I just eyeball it. It is much easier if you put your cake tins right next to each other like this. It's easy to see which, whether the levels are the same and whether you still need to add to one or the other. Okay, that's all of our mixture. Now I'm going to bake this for about 45 to 50 minutes at 160 degrees Celsius fan-assisted oven. You can start checking it at about 40-45 minutes, and if you just touch the pan like this very slightly in the oven, if you can see the middle is wobbly, your cake is not ready. Don't even take it out, close the oven door, add 5 minutes to your timer and try again later. So if you just literally do this in the oven, you'll see the middle wobble and it's definitely not ready. So if that happens, close the door, 5 minutes extra, check again. When you touch your pan like that, obviously with the oven glove on, and the middle doesn't wobble after you've checked again, then just stick a cake tester in the middle. If it comes out clean, your cake is ready. It will be about 45 to 50 minutes because we do have fruit in here as well, so it will take that a little bit longer to cook through. So I'm going to do that and we'll see how it turns out. And there we have it, our cakes are baked. It took exactly 43 minutes in my oven with this size cake tin, 8-inch. I started checking the cake at 40 minutes and it wasn't wobbly anymore, but when I put a skewer in, it just came out still a little bit wet. So do check it with a skewer as well. I gave it a few more minutes and at 43 minutes it was absolutely perfect. The baking time will differ depending on the setting of your oven, the temperature, as well as the size of your cake tins. I made this recipe double the other day for an 8-inch square tin pair, and those took a full hour to bake. So it depends on the size of your tin and your oven setting. Right, so leave your cakes in the tins for at least 5 minutes before you put it in the cooling rack. If you turn it out in the cooling rack straight after the oven, it will stick because it's too hot. So mine have been standing for 5 minutes or so. So we can now turn it out. And I'll show you what these gorgeous cakes are looking like. The kitchen smells lovely. There we go. And now we can just peel off the baking paper. And you can see as you're peeling it off, the cake is perfectly baked. If it wasn't, you'll see a dark circle around there, but these cakes are absolutely perfect. There we go. So you can now leave your cakes like this, cover it with a fly net and leave it to cool down completely before you decorate your cake. Obviously carrot cake goes extremely well with cream cheese frosting, but if you don't like cream cheese, or you want to do a design which requires a firmer buttercream, because cream cheese tends to make your buttercream a bit runny, then vanilla goes very well with carrot cake as well, or white chocolate flavour goes really well with it as well. I made one the other day. So there is my carrot cake recipe. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. If you liked the video, please give me the thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me in the future, please remember to subscribe to my channel to get notifications in the future. See you soon. Bye.